immersive experience should be as common as touch is today on your phone. Why not? Because if you think about TV, started black and white, not because the world is black and white, but that was technologically available. So I'm part of Leia. Leia is an American company, acquired a Dutch company. That's why Dutch guy is talking to you. What we basically do is we're selling a combination of hardware, software, and AI, and we embed it, and we call it an Immersity platform. You see in the middle, these are displays where we put an optical stack, combined with the software, combined with AI, we can make any display into an immersive display, which is interesting for three groups. It's for the big tech, very interesting because AI is continuing in promising, it becomes spatial. We're moving from today from LLM models to agentic AI. The next part is actually AI that uses your real world. So if you have displays and devices that are using stereo, that are using feeds, you can actually develop even more and more applications as well. We're interested for the OEMs. We're selling to OEMs. We're not selling to you, but to OEMs. So Samsung, Acer, Barco are some of our customers. But I'm here to talk to you because user in the end, that's what matters. Who is using you and why are they using you? So this is a bit hard because everyone, yeah.
Dude. How is it doing it?
So it's very hard to explain what it does, but this is the best video so far I have of a guy called Dave 2D, who was testing at this time an Asus device with us, which unfortunately didn't make the market because the leadership changed, but the device is very good. And it's a part of the stuff that we've developed. So Leia exists since 2014, and there are multiple devices already on the market. So some of you already seen today with Samsung, Barco is here. There are multiple, but what we're actually doing is we are rebranding. I'm a marketing guy. We're moving a bit away from the 3D display, but I like to talk about immersive experiences because in the end, that's what matters. It's about the immersive part. So what we call Immersity on any device. We do that with a platform, and we think that all these immersive experiences should be as common as touch is today on your phone. Why not? Because if you think about TV, started black and white, not because the world is black and white, but that was technologically available. It moved to color. Why? Because it's available. And now you see there's a transition, which I'm going to talk about, which actually can add the depth back to it. So if you do that, everything can be immersive. And we try to make all devices immersive. So oh, thank you very much, Alex. I thought I killed Teams, but apparently not. We can go from a tablet, phone, laptop, monitor, any device. And that's kind of important for adoption. Because although I very much like to talk about Thomas, what he's his Ray-Ban, I'm not going to wear a Ray-Ban. I'm not going to wear glasses. I don't need glasses, so why would I wear them? Unless there's very much sun. But I could use both if I need to, but it's about availability. So we're trying to we're changing the device, not the consumer, to increase the adoption. And that's important because we do see the trend that where today a lot is about interaction. There are different ways to interact. We believe the future will be very much more dominant immersive. Why not? Because it's actually capable. And the thing is, I was showing to some of you guys a simple conversion of YouTube, a sports game, and we converted to something immersive. And the response like, why would I actually go back to seeing it like compressed? I don't know either. I don't know why you would. But it's where the future is going to, supported of course by all the NVIDIAs of this world and all the GPU acceleration of it. But it's coming, and AGI and artificial general intelligence will be a part of our day-to-day. So this is where we believe in, and this is where we work in. So why are we then suited? Well, if you think about immersive and ease of use, you want to find both sweet spot. I would argue VR displays today are the most immersive you can find because I can be in a virtual different room and everything around me is different. There's a downside to it and there's a plus to it. I don't like somebody with an Apple Vision Pro across me in the subway. Is that guy taping me, even with a Ray-Ban? I don't know. Is he taping me? Is he checking me out? I have no idea. So there can be some awkwardness. So you're not going to use it there. But from a use case, I need to become a doctor. I want to be in an operating room, or I am a pilot, or what have you. You can be virtually doing training, and it's perfect. The smartphone, everybody has one in his pocket today. Sorry, I'll try to keep the mic a bit the same. So everybody has a smartphone. It's very easy to take a picture. It's quick. But how can you find that sweet spot? So we believe that we are operating in that sweet spot, and the glasses are a bit in between. because we don't try to change you, what you do in day-to-day. So if you day-to-day are sitting behind a screen, we can upgrade that screen and add actually Immersity to it, so you unlock more use case with it, instead of you to change your complete way of working. So what do we then offer? It's the Immersity platform. If I make it very simple, I say it's spatial AI software, and it's a part of hardware, switchable hardware. And the switchable hardware is also important, I'll get back to it, but any of our displays can be used normally and can be used immersively. We can display content or project something holographically. So let's break down what's in the spatial AI. The first part is an extra interesting part. It has nothing to do with the actual projection. But we've learned that it's about content. People need to see content. So the example of YouTube I gave, what we actually do, our AI, we have a lot of proprietary data on stereo images, because a lot of people bought tablets with us and they opt in to share with us their pictures. So we have a lot of data from them. And we can use that in our AI to make a depth conversion. And then if you have a depth conversion, you can make a secondary image, basically unlocking a lot of opportunities. To give you an example, what if I have a display that's immersive and I can see somebody in stereo, fully immersively, but the other one doesn't, and it has a normal camera? I could take that camera and make it immersive for me, so I see that person still immersively, and the other way around, the other person can see me as they would do today. So it's about how to make things available. If you then have a stereo output, what do you then do is it working? Why are you? Oh, that's not my mouse. This is my mouse. Go back. So then what we do is spatial tracking. So this is actually the part of the key of our software. So we are looking who you are, if not who you are, where you are in front of the display. What is the position of your eyes? And it's like these cars that you can buy. You have different positions, you have different perspective. Basically, we do the same. If we know where the eyes are, we can make then an image which locks into your eye. So even if you're moving in front of the screen, we make sure we lock into your eye. So if you're then locked in, what do you actually see? You get a holographic view perspective. The screen becomes like an open window. So depending on where you are, how you look at it, the content will change. The content can come out of the screen, can go into the screen. It doesn't really matter anymore. It becomes what we call immersive. You feel more part of the scene. And then last but not least, it's the switchable display part, is the hardware. So this is where we have some patents. So we can actually switch between both. So you see there's on each of these displays, there's an optical stack. And that stack can actually switch on and off depending on if you're having an immersive content, yes or no. And if you zoom in, there will be an animation about now. So you see this lens, the lens actually steers then the light. So you see here, depending on which color it is, it goes a different direction. That creates this image. But if I want, I can also decide to switch off the lens, and then what we do, the light will simply go straight, which you'll see here. And basically the display becomes a regular display. And that goes in a second, like fast and milliseconds, to be honest. So all of this combination makes our platform. Schematically, it looks a bit like this. On the left side, you have either content which is stereo, virtual, whatever, or mono, which is simple. If it's mono, we will make it stereo with our service, but basically our runtime needs a stereo input. Then we use the tracking to identify where the person is in front of the screen, and that combination is sent to the cell, that image is sent to the display, and that results in a holographic projection. Today, the content works on Windows, on Android, we work with Unity, Unreal, OpenXR, so we try to make our platform open and accessible so you guys can do something with it. And we have some patents around it. It's not a story for next, it's like something you can buy, so go to galaxus.de, you can buy the Samsung or find an Acer, so it's something which is on the market today, and I'm here to make more use cases and to create and expand upon it. But it's a proven system and we just try to roll it out. Part of it I'm here and you see it is, although we only make, let's say, we are facilitating basically, we're licensing, we're making a service, we do connect with the ecosystem around it. So that's also why I'm here, that's why Andreas asked me to come here. We know that you guys are part of it to be a success, yes or no. And we try to work with you together on on being so. Because if you are an OEM, think about it. If you're Samsung, you're a small team within the Super, and then you get the guys from the Galaxy 26. They need their time. So actually, the experts will help to do the early adoption and acceleration. So what are the use cases? I'm not going to go to all of them, but I made a video where you see some of them. But we have use cases across. I think you need to ask me, can I use it for this? I most of the times will say, yes, you can. Just the question will be how and what will be the best way. But in terms of use cases, where I talk about is one of the key is communication. So you've seen here a view where you can actually see yourself immersively, and you can connect to the other. You get the body language even though you're remotely. You can have a better dialogue, conversation. You can design directly, immersively, really see how curvatures are, which for auto design, for car design, it makes it important. Education, understand how things work, how they look. In this case, it's an iguana. It could be anything, but yeah, you can see something up close. Kids like it. There's a company called Z-Space using it a lot. Andreas can show you as well. Or social, where we in the end want to be, because as I said, everybody has a smartphone. I think Thomas said there are 7 million Ray-Bans now sold. So does anybody know how many smartphones are sold every year? Wild guess? Somebody? No idea? No idea at all? 1.2 billion. The total market is about 8 billion smartphones are there on the market today. 1.2. And if I say I want to be everywhere, I would like to at least be 60-70% of that part, at least our technology. And if it's not, maybe a competitor, doesn't matter, but we believe that that should be doable. Gaming was the last one. Gaming is where most of our customers actually start, because everything is already immersive and you can actually utilize it, the content is there, but there's so much more. So why is it interesting, specifically in terms of, let's say, productivity and workflows? Because that was a bit of the question. So the key part is actually if you're just working and you're a designer, or you can actually speed up your workflow, because you can directly see what you do in reality with depth, instead of having to abstract and think about it, or putting a VR set on your head, or different ways. So there's a very simple way of directly see what you do or directly work in it. The other part, and so I'm doing today, it's very nice to present a review. So I know after this, the guys from Canon will be here. I was joking, I said, guys, let's take your video that you're showcasing and let's put it here. And what we did that. It looked pretty okay, didn't it? So, but it's not about our system, it's about how can you make things very easily accessible. And to present it to review, a system like this works pretty well, because you're still in contact with that person. I didn't lose that person. I can see his or her reaction and still give them that experience. It's a single view, so I will not have the same experience, but I don't need to be, because I'm presenting. I know exactly what you're going to see. Think about home design, think about medical, that's another one. A lot of these things are actually there. And the last part is a bit more medical, so it's discussing and share understanding. So sometimes, if you're an expert, so if let's say I'm a designer and my boss is a designer, I'm showing him my new design, we're both experts in the field, we know exactly what we're doing, and I would present a review. But sometimes the other person doesn't know. So think about doctor to, this is what I like about Barco case, doctor to patient. Patient has no idea how actually CT scan is built and how to make that visualization different. You can have a very nice demo if you want, I can even show it to you, but to showcase what the difference is between the 3D perspective or really a virtual, let's say, leg or arm or whatever, you floating in front of you and really understanding how things work. Because then you're sharing information directly, where the other one doesn't have all the knowledge. So these are elements which we believe are quite beneficial for this system. So how does it then work? How can you use it? Well, it's always a display. In this case, I've chosen monitors, but the same is for a tablet or a phone. But you can either go full display, you can do something native and make it on it, use it, or you switch screens. So you're working from one screen and then you pull it forward. We can project on the second screen. I think the Barco setup is like this, which is pretty nice example at the VR stand, VR Logic stand. So one area you're actually driving it, and the other one you're projecting it, or you can do it on one screen as well. For us, we don't care. To make that a bit of an example, how that looks like or what it be, this is us some time ago with ShapeLab, Leopold. This is a designer tool, so like ZBrush. And what they did, they actually made a full integration. So the controls are actually floating in the plane. And the designer can directly create and sculpt and add it in real time in on the screen. So this is like working directly, which is faster than doing many other things. Then we have here a viewport example. So this is the Do's. He's an artist using Blender. He uses a Wacom tablet and he draws on his tablet. He has here a setup where he takes a laptop, which has an Immersity platform on it. He uses his Wacom tablet attached to the laptop as a second screen. He draws on the tablet and sees directly on the screen on the laptop. Is he in the right field, on the right layer? Does he create the right illusion? If you want to see his design, come see me after. I can show you. It's really beautiful, especially immersively. On the Blender, it's okay, but immersively, it's astonishing. Then other examples. This is me at CES. Sorry for that, and Greg. What we try to do is make our system as easy as possible. Sometimes there is no integration. So the first on the left, which I'm going to play, as you see there, is DaVinci, DaVinci Resolve. It's pushing out a stereo image, in this case avatar. And what we basically say to our software, hey, look, there's a stereo image incoming. Can you please take it and put it immersively on that same display? So instead of a stereo view, you see, I'm seeing it immersively in real time. So there is no direct link between DaVinci and the Immersity platform, but it's just handing over the data. I cannot work in immersively, but I can see directly what I do. The other one is that example of the Do's in Blender, and I'm just showcasing here that you can be on one screen. On the left side, I have Blender, it's running there. On the right side, this is a 32-inch 8K screen. I didn't bring it with me, but it's the same principle. I can see in one go, I can see what I do and how it actually works. Then barcode for the ones haven't seen. So the barcode that's on the third one, this is a full integration. So they still played around, but the left side looks 2D, but the whole thing is used. It's one application. But on the right side, you see the CT scan, which is actually portrayed immersively. So you can explain, hey, there's something here. This is the area. We need to do this, dear ma'am or sir, what have you. And you can really see that directly. So it's another way. And the last one is also quite an interesting one. This is Craig from Portal VR. He did something without us, or he asked us, hey, can you help me a bit? But what he basically did, he uses more the VR route. And he, using a Quest there, using the headset to map his controllers. So he knows where the controllers are. But that's the only thing that the headset does. Everything else is just put on the screen. So basically what he did, he unlocked all 6,000 VR games on our device by doing that. But beyond games, you can do so much more. So it's all about us trying to make the system as easy as possible, to give you examples of how it could be used. And yeah, what we try to do is unlock that immersive world, and hopefully that, let's say in 2030, I'm maybe here again, that all of you have, or some of you will have a smartphone in your pocket. Yeah, makes sense. I've been using it like this now, or have some parts. So this is what we do. Hope you enjoyed this talk. I tried to keep it not too long because I know end of day. And if there's any questions, do reach out now or later to me.